Today is Wednesday, August 16, 2023. I am Judge Martin. This is courtroom number 1. Today's docket is exclusively landlord-tenant. If you do not have a landlord-tenant matter, you are in the wrong courtroom. The clerks can assist you in the clerk meeting room to get you where you need to be. The attorneys for this session have been made co-host. They will be moving you into rooms as needed to talk to you, to get you labeled, to review ledgers, and discuss possible settlement. That being said, Carly, just reset Judge Martin and 34th District Courtroom 1 as co-host, please. It's gonna be a thing. Hey, is Carly near you? Would you go and reset, have her reset the courtroom and the label Judge Martin as co-host, please? Thank you. Bye. Ms. Kuzi, have you seen any of your tenants as of yet?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe some are. And
233407 LT. This is Holiday West versus Williams.
I'm here.
Turn your video on, please.
Yeah, I'm trying to now. I'm here.
Your appearances, please.
Sandra Kuzi on behalf of the plaintiff.
Ma'am, state your name for the record.
Raquela Baitish Williams.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. Ms. Kuzi, what is your client claiming as rent to retain possession?
Yes, Your Honor, this is a non-government action, and Your Honor, I believe George from Lakeshore Legal Aid was representing the tenant, but as of today, the rent to retain is $3,374.73. Cost.
Ma'am, your audio. 3,000. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, $3,374.73. Cost of $164 for a total balance of $3,538.73.
I heard you indicate that Mr. George was representing Ms. Williams, but this court does not have an appearance in this matter. Mr. George is here. He's in a meeting room right now. Ms. Williams, are you represented by an attorney?
Yes, George.
Then Ms. Kuzi, we'll pass this matter momentarily.
Your Honor.
Thank you. This is 233412 LT, Holiday West versus Smith and Smith.
Sandra Kuzi on behalf of the plaintiff.
Sienna Smith. Sienna Smith. Sienna Smith. I see she's here. She's not responding to the call. She's being removed from the session. If she rejoins, I'll recall the case, ma'am. Mr. George, do you represent Ms. Williams?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Here, Mr. George, I've called the case. We don't have an appearance from. I see it here now. My apologies. Hold on. Your appearance, Mr. George, for 2-3-3407.
George on behalf of the defendant.
Today is the day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. Mr. George, Ms. Kuzi has indicated that there's rent to retain of $3,374.73. What's your position on this matter?
Your Honor, I had been in touch with Ms. Kuzi and we were discussing a potential resolution in the form of a conditional dismissal. I just got out of a breakout room with counsel on another matter. Would it be possible to set this aside for a moment so that I can speak with Ms. Kuzi privately?
Absolutely. Ms. Kuzi will be there as soon as we confirm that she has no other matters ready.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. George, are you ready on the other matter with Mr. Friedman?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is 2-3-3434 LT U.S. Government versus Karima Hawkins. Your appearances, please.
Ellis Friedman for the plaintiff.
George, Lakeshore Legal Aid on behalf of the defendant.
Mr. George and
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mr. George and I spoke, and he asked me if I would agree to a 1-week adjournment so we could sort some matters out. I said I would agree to that.
That's correct, Your Honor.
This court is not hearing landlord-tenant matters next week. Will not be back on the landlord-tenant docket until September the 20th. Would you like to adjourn to that date?
I have no objection.
I'll agree to it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Friedman?
Yes, I will agree to that, Your Honor. Thank you.
September 20th, 2023 at 10 a.m. back here on Zoom in courtroom number 1. Anything else, Mr. Friedman?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. George?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Hawkins, you're free to go.
Thank you.
Two 33406 LT Holiday West versus Monica Washington. Ms. Washington, unmute yourself and state your name for the record, please.
Monica Washington.
Today is the day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. Ms. Kuzi, what is your client claiming as the rent to retain possession?
Yes, Your Honor, the rent to retain is $1,412.96, cost of $164 for a total balance of $1,576.96.
Ms. Williams, Ms. Washington, you heard Ms. Kuzi indicate the rent to retain is $1,412.96. Do you admit that this is the amount of rent due and owing in this matter?
Yes.
Ma'am, inasmuch as you admit and acknowledge that the amount of rent claimed due and owing is accurate, there is not a tribal issue of fact. For that reason, the plaintiff is entitled to entry of judgment as requested in the amount of $1,412.96, $164 in costs, for a total judgment of $1,576.96. Ms. Kuzi's office will submit that judgment to the court for entry.
Can I still pay that?
I'm sorry?
Can I pay that?
Absolutely, ma'am. It will indicate
Okay.
that you have 10 days to pay that amount or vacate the property.
No, my mother's agreed to go ahead and write a check. I just didn't know for the amount.
Yes, ma'am. And you'll make payment arrangements directly with the office. The court does not get involved
Okay,
in how you make that payment. But once Ms. Kuzi's
Okay.
office submits that judgment to the court, a signed copy will be sent to you at the address we have on record, okay?
okay, thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Washington?
No, that's it.
You're free to go. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you too, ma'am.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Judge. Hi, my name is Hawkins. Did you say I was free to go?
I sure did, ma'am. Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you. Have a great Friday. Thank you.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Ms. Kuzi, if you would like to go in and speak to Mr. George, we'll clear out some of these other attorneys.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is Attorney Ian Morton. If the court would like to call some of those cases, I'm here to help Ms. Kuzi out if you want to help your docket move forward as well.
I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. I see Mr. Burnkrantz sitting here ever so patiently. Sir, did you have something ready?
I don't, Your Honor. I just noticed that Ms. Dixon is here now, so I'm going to try to meet with her for a few minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mortada,
Good morning, Your Honor.
good morning. Give me one moment. Let me just check these breakout rooms and see if I see some unnamed people. Let's give the clerk a moment to get those people renamed, and if none of them is Stevens, I'll call your case and let you get on with your day, sir.
Your Honor, Attorney Catherine Cooper is here on behalf of the defendant.
Ms. Cooper? Ms. Cooper?
She did
Ms.
just
Cooper.
message me. Sorry, Your Honor. She did just message me.
I'm sorry, Your
asking if we
Honor.
can go to
Yes.
Breakout. Yeah. So
She messaged you. I'm sorry, sir. I'm trying to.
I'm here. Hello, Mr. Mertuda.
Do you need to speak to each other?
Yes.
yes, Your Honor.
Oh, okay, wait a minute. You're a co-host. You're both co-hosts. Is there a reason why you haven't already gone into a meeting room?
I've stepped away for a moment, Your Honor. But I
Okay.
can definitely place us in a breakout room.
You're both co-hosts. You may move into, there's a miscellaneous room at the end of the meeting block. So just go into a miscellaneous meeting room. I'll see you
Thank you,
shortly.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Morton, I swear. Ms. Snyder, I see your tenant in the waiting room. I'm bringing them in. If you want to take them into a meeting room to talk to them and then come back out, I'll get your matter called.
Thank you, Your Honor. Hello.
Ms. McCaskill, you'll see an invitation to go into a meeting room with the attorney. Please go there and talk to the attorney. This is 233411 LT. This is Holiday West versus Peter Lorenzi and Elizabeth Lorenzi.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
State your name, please.
Elizabeth Lorenzi.
And where is Peter, ma'am?
He's at work. He couldn't make it.
Two, 33411 LT, Mr. Morton.
Your Honor, Attorney Ian Morton. Palace on behalf of the plaintiff. At this time, rents retained are listed at $4,973.78. Court costs of $198 for a total of $5,171.78. This does include the month of August, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ma'am, were you able to hear the attorney just now?
I was able, I did apply for a state of emergency from the state of Michigan to help with this matter.
Ma'am, as a preliminary matter, Mr. Morton is alleging that there's $4,973.78 due and owing to your landlord, Holiday West. The first question is, do you admit that that is an accurate amount of rent due and owing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ma'am, in as much as you admit that that amount of rent is accurate, there is not a tribal issue of fact, and the plaintiff is entitled to entry of judgment in that amount, $4,973.78, plus the $198 in court costs. That would be a total judgment of $5,171.78. That will be entered as a default as to the first defendant, Peter Lorenzi, for his failure to appear this morning. I understand why he hasn't appeared. Ms. Lorenzi, I've made a note in the file that you have applied for state emergency relief assistance. My suggestion would be that you remain in contact and communication with your complex's office to advise them of any updates to your application and any other arrangements you are making towards the unpaid rent due in this matter.
Yeah, I just spoke to Hope Monday morning about it, and I told her about what I was doing.
You just spoke to, okay. Was there something else, ma'am?
No, that's it.
Okay. I've made a note in the file. I'm sure Mr. Morton is noting his file. But Mr. Morton's office will be submitting a judgment to the court for entry. You will receive a copy in a few days. Do you have any questions, Ms. Lorenzi?
So that means we have 10 days, correct?
Correct, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Quick.
Thank you. This is 233462 LT Holiday West versus Aurelia P. and Daryl Phillips.
Here.
State your name, please.
Aurelia P.
Thank you. Where's Mr. Phillips?
Right here.
State your name, please. Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the second hearing on this termination of tenancy matter. Mr. Morton, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, at this time, my client wishes to continue to proceed. This is a termination of tenancy based off of lease violations, which includes loud music, disturbances within the community, and other issues that have occurred that are listed in the attachment A to the termination notice. This is a rental home, i.e. a rental of a mobile home and the lot itself. So there's no ownership interest in this specific instance.
Ms. P, Mr. Phillips, what is your defense to this termination of tenancy matter?
I deny all those allegations.
Your Honor, I would say since this is a termination notice and we will likely need to have separate witnesses, we'd ask the matter just be set for a separate date and we'll have our witnesses present to be able to provide testimony to the court.
Ms. P and Mr. Phillips, how much time do you need to be prepared for trial?
I'm prepared.
You have all necessary documents and witnesses?
Definitely.
Thank you. Mr. Morton, are you saying that your client is not available for a hearing today?
No, I'm saying, Your Honor, that there's additional witnesses, i.e. other residents that would need to be able to appear to testify. And that's why we'd ask for that separate hearing date, Your Honor.
Ms. P and Mr. Phillips, do you have any objection to this matter being adjourned?
Yes.
What's your objection?
That I wasn't involved in any of those allegations that was put towards
No,
me.
ma'am. No, ma'am. No, no, no. My question is, do you have an objection to the case being adjourned?
No.
Okay. I'm looking at Tuesday, September the 5th. Mr. Morton, are you available? Ms. P and Mr. Phillips, check your calendars.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor, that works for me. No conflict.
Thank you. That's September the 5th
Okay.
at 2 p.m. in person or on Zoom. Mr. Morton,
Understood, Your Honor.
I'm asking a question.
Oh, you're right. Was it, I have no objection to appearing in person. I would just ask for the leeway to be able to have my witnesses appear via Zoom for that sake. But I mean, I'm always a fan of Zoom, but I leave it to the court's final discretion based on the fact that the
Ms. P, do you have a preference of in person or on Zoom?
I mean, Zoom is fine, but I got witnesses too, because I don't know what is going on. Like, this don't make sense.
Ma'am?
I'm sorry. I'm stressed. Zoom is fine.
So we will conduct the hearing on Zoom on September 5th, 2023 at 2 p.m. back here in courtroom number 1. Any documents that you wish the court to consider, Ms. P and Mr. Phillips, needs to be submitted to the court at least 3 days before the hearing. You must also submit copies to the plaintiff's attorney's office. Same thing for Mr. Morton. Any documents that he wants the court to consider need to be submitted at least 3 days before to allow them time to make their way to the court file. Anything else in this case, Mr. Morton?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. P?
No, ma'am. I'm about to take all.
Anything else, Mr. Phillips?
Oh, man.
Thank you. You're free to go. I'll see you on September 5th. Thank you.
Taking it to the court, and you know we could have won it first.
Ms. Snyder, you came back out without Ms. McCaskill.
He logged off suddenly.
Oh, it's going to be a day. I'm not sure why. Mr. George, this is 232847LT. This is Romulus Housing versus Nakuru. May I have your appearance, please, sir?
George George of Lakeshore Legal Aid on behalf of Ms. Naguru. Your Honor, we did submit a stipulation to dismiss yesterday. Unfortunately, it seems like it was rejected from my file because I think the note said that please indicate with or without prejudice. With prejudice was checked though, so we're trying to sort that out, but this case is going to be dismissed.
Thank you. The case was scheduled at 9 o'clock. It's now 9:24. Plaintiff's attorney has not appeared. Mr. George, I will take your word as an officer of the court that the matter is being dismissed. I don't know what the my file issue is, but I will make a notation that there is a dismissal pending.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else in this matter?
Nothing further.
Thank you, sir. Do you have anything else this morning?
Just that one last case with Ms. Kuzi for Williams.
Are you ready for that one?
Yes, Your Honor. We've resolved the matter.
This is a recall of 233407LT Holiday West versus Williams.
Central present behalf of the plaintiff.
George of Lakeshore Legal Aid on behalf of the defendant.
Thank you. Mr. George, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, we've agreed that the balance as of right now is $3,538. That includes $164 in court costs. There is a pending payment for $1,100 that was made last week, so that should come off of that balance once it's processed. And the remaining balance, we've agreed to a conditional dismissal with a pay or move date of the 28th.
Of the 28th?
That's correct, Your Honor, August 28th.
Thank you. Mr. George and Ms. Kuzi have noted the file that the conditional dismissal with those terms is forthcoming. If you would have that submitted through my file sooner rather than later, it'd be greatly appreciated. Is there anything else, Ms. Kuzi?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. George?
It does occur to me that I don't think Ms. Kuzi and I discussed who would be drafting that, but I'll volunteer.
You'll volunteer? Thank you.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes this matter. Ms. Williams, you're free to go. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
This is 233400 LT Holiday West versus Caleb Burns. Caleb Burns or anyone at 518 Washington in the city of Belleville. Today is the day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. The defendant failed to appear for the first hearing and has now failed to appear for the second hearing. On behalf of the plaintiff, please.
Sandra Kuzi on behalf of plaintiff.
Thank you. Ms. Kuzi, what is the rent to retain possession in this matter?
$976.32. Cost of $164 for a total balance of $1,140.32.
Thank you. Defendant having failed to appear as directed by this court, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total due of $1,140.33. Plaintiff's office to submit that judgment for entry. Anything else in this matter, ma'am?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. This is 233402 LT. This is Holiday West versus Martez Freeman. Martez Freeman or anyone at 227 New Mexico in the city of Belleville. Ms. Kuzi, the court will note your appearance for the record. Today is the day and time set for the second hearing. It was scheduled at 9 o'clock. It's now 9:28 by this court's clock. Defendant failed to appear at the first hearing, has failed to appear at the second hearing. How are we proceeding this morning, ma'am?
Your Honor, I may just move to dismiss this matter. A dismissal was e-filed with the court.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This is 233403 LT Holiday West versus Caitlin Laroquette. Caitlin Laroquette or anyone at 224 New Mexico in the city of Belleville. Today, Ms. Kuzi, the court notes your appearance for the record. Today is the day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. Defendant failed to appear at the first hearing, has failed to appear at the second hearing. How would you like to proceed this morning?
Take an entry default possession judgment. Rent to retain is $3,383.71. Cost of $164 for a total balance of $3,547.71.
Thank you, ma'am. Again, this case was scheduled at 8 a.m. It's now 9:29 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, a default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total judgment of $3,547.71. Plaintiff's office to submit that judgment for entry. This is a recall of 233461 LT Woodside Square versus McCaskill.
Thank you, Your Honor. Jackie Snyder Powder on behalf of Mark Raspberry. We represent plaintiff.
Thank you. When this case was previously called, Ms. McCaskill had been present and has not returned. Ma'am, do you have any update or information regarding this case?
I do not. She indicated that she didn't have a plan to pay. And I was attempting to talk with her about what she wanted to do as far as move out, but I didn't get anywhere.
Thank you. This case having been scheduled at 9 o'clock, it now being 9:30 by the court's clock, defendant having failed to return. Ms. Snyder, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, if we could get a default judgment or judgment for 10 days. I would appreciate it. The rent due and owing is $2,016.40 with legal cost of $164 for a total of $2,180.40.
Thank you. And again, the defendant did not stay and has not made an effort to log back on. Default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total judgment of $2,180.40. Plaintiff's office will submit that judgment by my file. Anything else this morning, Ms. Snyder?
That was it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a wonderful day.
Thanks to you as well.
This is a recall of two, 33412 LT. This is Holiday West versus Sienna Smith and Doris Smith. Ms. Cozy, the court will note your appearance for the record. Sienna Smith had previously been here, did not respond to the call, and has not reappeared. The case was scheduled at 9 o'clock. It's now 9:32 by the court's clock. How would you like to proceed, ma'am?
Thank you for a default possession judgment. Rent to retain is $2,639.10. Cost of $198 for a total balance of $2,837.10.
Thank you. This case having been scheduled at 9 o'clock, it now being 9:32 by the court's clock. Defendants having failed to appear, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total judgment of $2,837.10. Plaintiff's office to submit that judgment for entry. This is 2-3-3-4-0-8 LT. This is Holiday West versus Nicole Young.
I'm present.
State your name, ma'am.
Nicole Young.
Turn your video on. Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. What is the rent to retain possession?
Rent to retain is $3,813.64. Cost of $164 for a total balance of $3,977.64.
Thank you. Ms. Young, were you able to hear the attorney just now?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the amount of rent claim due $3,813.64 correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Young, inasmuch as you admit that the amount of rent claim due and owing is accurate, there is not a tribal issue of fact, and the plaintiff is entitled to entry of judgment in that amount. Rent $3,813.64, $164 in cost for a total judgment of $3,977.64. Plaintiff's office will submit the judgment to the court with those dollar amounts with the indication that you will have 10 days to pay or vacate the property. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. That concludes this matter. You're free to go.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too. This is 2-3-3-4-3-6 LT. This is Gateway Townhomes versus Brianna Dixon. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. John Berncrant for the plaintiff, Gateway Townhomes.
Good morning. This is Brianna Dixon.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the second hearing on this matter. The parties have had the opportunity to speak. Mr. Berncrant, how are we proceeding this morning?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm happy to report that we have agreed to the entry of a consent judgment for possession only. The rent owing is $2,814 plus $167 in court costs for a total redemption figure of $2,981, which must be paid or the tenant must vacate by no later than Monday, August 28th, 2023. I've explained that she has 3 business days to come back to court, and Ms. Dixon can file a writing asking that the consent judgment not be entered, and it will be up to the court at that point as to whether to deny the consent judgment or to go to trial. I've also explained that she has 10 business days, which we've also pushed, 10 calendar days, which I've pushed to the 28th to appeal this matter. And she's also given me permission to sign her name to such a consent judgment.
Thank you. Ms. Dixon, were you able to hear Mr. Berncrant just now?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's your understanding and agreement that there will be a consent judgment in this matter, which indicates that you owe $2,814 in past due rent, $167 and costs for a total judgment of $2,981?
That is incorrect. I paid $1,400 today.
I can address that if I may.
Hold on one second. Oh, Mr. Berncrant. Ms. Dixon, are those dollar amounts correct?
The dollar amounts are correct, yes, but I did make a payment of $1,400 today.
And Mr. Berncrant, you're aware of that?
I am not aware of that. I don't dispute it because I don't have contact with my manager this early in the morning, but I'm happy to put the representation that she's paid $1,400 in the judgment, but I can't acknowledge that until I confirm it with my manager.
Ms. Dixon, you understand that if you made that payment this morning, there's no confirmation of it?
I just spoke with him, and then I also do have the receipts and a video recording of me making that payment.
Okay. Ms. Dixon, what the court will do is already made a notation in the file that there's $1,400 pending in this matter.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Did Mr. Berncrant explain to you your legal rights regarding the 3 days before the judgment is final and then 10 days to appeal?
He did, absolutely.
And because you appear on Zoom, there's not a signed consent. You authorize Mr. Berncrant to sign your name to the consent judgment.
I did do that.
Thank you. For that reason, Ms. Dixon, the court will enter the consent judgment that Mr. Berncrant presents to the court by electronic filing as long as it has those terms on and conditions. Mr. Berncrant, because there is this allegation that just about half of the judgment amount was paid and is not yet shown on your records, the court will ask that your judgment indicate that there will be no writ in this matter without hearing. Ms. Dixon, that means that if there becomes an issue where the payment is not credited in enough time to forestall any application for writ, the court will not enter a writ until there is a full hearing on the matter where we can go over the accounting. Understood?
Thank you so much.
And
any questions, ma'am?
No, I do not have questions. I just wanted to make sure that this was taken care of. So thank you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Berncrant was going to say something.
Yes, I'm sorry. I did mention to Ms. Dixon that it's been the practice of the manager, Kathy McCoy, to hold any payments, partial payments, rather than deposit them. She holds them in a safe location. I did explain that to Ms. Dixon until the full amount arrives. So I just wanted to mention that for the record.
I appreciate that, Mr. Berncrant. Ms. Dixon, unless there's anything else, you're free to go. You please have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. McCaskill.
Hi, I was in the meeting with the attorney and then my phone died and I'm trying to get back to her if possible.
Ma'am, the court called your case already and the attorney's office has left. The attorney indicated that there was $2,016.40 in rent due owing. Is that amount correct or not?
Yes, it should be. Yes, it should be. And like we were in the middle of us trying to make a plan and everything, my phone had died. And I walked down to the office and the lady in the office can't even get on. So I'm trying to figure out what to do.
Ms. McCaskill, because you weren't here when the case was called, what happened is the court granted the attorney's request for a default judgment. That default judgment will have the amount of rent of $2,016.40. There will be court costs of $164 for a total judgment of $2,180.40. Because you admit that that amount is correct, the court will leave it as is. You indicated that you were making a plan to pay that past due rent. The court does not get involved in payment plans between landlords and tenants. So I would suggest that you continue to be in contact with your management office regarding your payment plan, but you will be receiving a signed copy of the judgment in just a few days, okay?
Okay.
Ms. McCaskill, do you have any questions?
I do, but it's okay. I'll just ask them. Okay.
No, ma'am, ask your question if the court's able to address it.
Because I don't know what I'm I don't know what's supposed to be done now. So that's why
What do you
I'm
mean
not-
you don't know what's supposed to be done?
I mean, like, I don't know if I can stay. I don't know if I need to go. I don't know what's going on.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
confused about
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
So I'm just trying to.
Ms. McCaskill? I can't see your face. Okay. What
trying
will
not to
happen
judge
is, oh, no, listen, it's fine. You'll get a copy of the judgment. The judgment will say that you have 10 days to pay or vacate. That's just as a matter of course. But what happens is stay in contact and communication with the office. If you already have a plan for the $2,180.40, the attorney doesn't usually get involved in it, and neither does the court. But that's communication with the office, okay?
It's like I'm trying, but it's okay. I'll talk to them.
No, Miss McCaskill, it's gonna be okay. If you pay, you stay. Do you need a moment?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good.
You got me crying.
Ms. McCaskill, if you have questions, I'll clear out some other stuff and I'll recall the case.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Mute yourself, and if you have any other questions, I'll try to address them. Otherwise, oh, Ms. Gist, don't do that. You're gonna get everybody going.
She got me going.
Who? Okay, no. The person on the iPhone, hello?
Yes.
Turn your video on. Court staff has made efforts to get you labeled so that we know who is in the session. Carly, if you want to take that person and get them renamed. Thank you. Ijuma Naguru.
Present.
Your case was called. It's been dismissed. You're free to go. You have a wonderful day.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. This is 2334888LT. This is Harbor Club versus Vivaldi Nagano and Ikori Giles.
Andrew Cruz on behalf of the plaintiff.
I am apologizing in advance because I might not be pronouncing the names correctly, but these last names are Nganongo or Gilles or anyone at 48671 South I-94 Service Drive number 209. Case was scheduled at 9:15, is now 9:44 by this court's clock. Defendants having failed to appear. Ma'am, how would you like to proceed?
For entry for default judgment, rent to retain is $4,603.19. Cost of the amount of $189 for a total balance of $4,792.19.
Thank you. Defendants having failed to appear as directed by the court, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant for a total judgment of $4,792.17. Plaintiff's office to submit that judgment for entry by my file. This is there anyone here for 233499 LT Wesley Townhomes versus Kimberly Foltz? Kimberly Foltz? Anyone here for Lee Rabbits? Or property at 3552 Smith in the city of Romulus? This case was scheduled at 9:15, is now 9:45 by the court's clock. Neither party appeared this morning. This matter will be dismissed. This is 233501 LT. This is Green Meadows versus Sean Foxworth.
Sandra Cruz on behalf of plaintiff.
I'm here.
State your name, please.
Sean Foxworth.
Thank you, Ms. Foxworth. Today is the day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. Defendant failed to appear for the first hearing. Ms. Kuzi, what is the rent to retain possession in this matter?
Rent to retain is $2,739. cost of $164 for a total balance of $2,903.95.
Ms. Foxworth, were you able to hear the attorney just now?
Yes, she said I owe $2,903.95.
Correct. Is that a correct amount, ma'am?
It is.
Ma'am, inasmuch as you admit and acknowledge that you owe $2,739.35 in rent and plaintiff is entitled to $164 in court costs, there is not a tribal issue of fact and plaintiff is entitled to entry of judgment as requested. Ms. Cousie's office will submit that to the court for entry with those dollar amounts. The judgment will indicate that you have 10 days to pay or vacate. A copy will be mailed to you at the address that the court has on file. Do you have any questions, Ms. Foxworth?
No, I don't.
Thank you. That concludes this matter. You're free to go.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. This is 233502 LT. This is Green Metals versus Gist.
Yes.
Can I have your appearances, please?
Plaintiff.
State your name, ma'am.
Nikki Lynn Guess.
Ms. Gist, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Today is the day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. Ms. Cousie, what is your client claiming as rent to retain possession?
Rent to retain is $2,765.53, cost of $164 for a total balance of $2,929.53.
Well, I was
Ms. Gist, were you-
wondering, can I go to the bank and give her $800 and make a payment plan? But my September rent will be on time. I start back work full time September the 5th, so I can get caught all up.
So Ms. Gist, let's do this. Let's have you and Ms. Cousie go into a breakout room and have a conversation. I'll recall the matter. We'll get Mr. Morton on the rest of these cases.
Okay, how do I go to a breakout room?
She's going to send you an invitation to go into a room with her. You'll see it pop up on your screen. Please go there with her.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. This is 233569 LT. This is Holiday Woods versus Amaya Augustine. Augustine? Mr. Morton.
Did you say Holiday Woods or Holiday West, Your Honor?
Holiday Woods. While you're looking for that, let me real quickly, Mr. Morton, find out why. Oh, I know what happened here. Ms. Loney. Two 33113 SP. This is Fabria Agostino versus Rodney Carter Jr. Ms. Loney? I don't know. Okay, Mr. Morton, we're back with Augustine. Do you have those numbers?
I'm gonna need just 1 minute, Your Honor, then I'll have them. Sorry, I apologize.
That's okay. Ms. Waschel? Oh, yeah, I see your case here ma'am, I see your case at 9:15. I see you sitting here. I will call that next and we'll get back to Mr. Morton's defaults.
Okay, thank you.
He may not have those numbers. Let's give it a minute and see what's going on. Ms. McCaskill?
Yes.
Are you okay, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Do you have any questions?
Honestly, no, I don't. I mean, I just have to really talk to them mainly about my question. I'm
If you don't
sorry
have
for the
any questions,
background.
no, you're fine. Listen, this is your housing. I understand the emotion. It's fine. But you'll get, like I said before, you'll get a copy of the judgment in a few days. But be in contact and communication with your landlord regarding the payment plan that you're trying to make, okay?
Okay.
You're free to go, Ms. McCaskill. You have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Loney, I tried to call your case.
I apologize, Your Honor. I was having technical difficulties on my end.
Well, we're having a technical difficulty on this end because although I'm sorry, this is 233113 SP, Fabry versus Carter.
Yes, Your Honor. I did submit a stipulation in order to adjourn. We did just receive the acknowledgement of service yesterday, so we hadn't. Just for context, there is a pending circuit court case in this matter that was brought by the defendant in this case. That is being resolved with the same attorney, but he has yet to make an appearance in this, but has accepted service of this complaint as of yesterday.
So when was the stipulation filed?
It was filed yesterday.
To adjourn to what date?
At the next most convenient time for the court. We are just trying to finalize a final settlement in this and a payoff amount. So the parties are still just trying to work it out together.
Here's the problem. Well, not problem. Here's the issue and concern. This is the second hearing in this matter that Mr. Fortuna has not appeared on. That's problematic for me.
To
adjourn a case without being in contact with this court, because we don't do landlord tenant again until September 20th. So if there's a stipulation pending, I will follow up with the civil department.
Okay. Yes, I apologize, Your Honor. I do work in the same office and I am just standing in for the attorney of record.
I'm sorry, Ms. Loney. No, it's not you. I said the wrong thing. Not Mr. Fortuna, Mr. Carter. No one has appeared. You indicated when we were here last week that Mr. Carter was represented by an attorney, but this office has not seen an attorney or Mr. Carter. So it wasn't your office, it was that issue. I'm sorry.
Okay. There on the second hearing, the defendant's counsel did appear. And we did talk during a breakout meeting, but I'm not sure why he isn't appearing today. He did acknowledge service for this complaint, so he is representing the defendant.
Okay. So Ms. Loney, what I've indicated in the file is that the defendant failed to appear as of 9:52, that there's a stipulation to adjourn pending, not yet seen by this court, and that there is a circuit court matter. Once the stipulation reaches the office, I will schedule it on our next landlord tenant date. And if there's something else that resolves the matter between now and then, please let us know. Okay?
Okay. Absolutely. Your Honor.
Anything
Thank you
else?
so much. No,
No
that is it,
worries.
Your
Thank
Honor.
you for your patience. You have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. 233569 LT Holiday Woods versus Augustine. Mr. Morton, did you get those numbers?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. I think we've called the case out a few times, and I don't think anybody is present for Miss Augustine, unless I'm incorrect.
No.
Nope.
Case was scheduled at 9:15. It's now 9:55 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear for the second time in this matter, how would you like to proceed, sir?
You're at this time, rents retained are $2,619.57. Court costs of $164 for a total of $2,783.57. So that's $2,783.57, and this is a possession only action.
Thank you. Based on the defendant's failure to appear as directed by this court, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total judgment of $2,783.57. Plaintiff's office to submit that judgment by my file for entry. This is 233592 LT Holiday Woods versus Washel.
Savannah
State your
Wash.
name, ma'am. Thank you. Mr. Morton, today is the day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. What is your client claiming as rent to retain possession?
Your Honor, at this time, rents retained is $3,243.14. Court costs of $164, for a total of $3,407.14.
Ms. Washel, were you able to hear Mr. Morton just now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that amount of rent $3,243.14 accurate? Ma'am, do you have any defense to this non-payment of rent action?
I'm a single mom. I feel a really hard time. I'm sorry. I am going to pull from my retirement to help pay this. I did also applied for state.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. Your audio is cutting out.
Is it? I'm sorry. I'm at work. It must
That's
be my
okay.
signal. I'm going to pull from my retirement to help pay this. And I applied for an SER. I just got approved for food stamps. And I applied for a employee emergency fund at my work. My life kind of just went to crap the last few months. I lost my car, everything, and I'm gonna get it. I want to get this paid. I have nowhere to go. I can't lose this. I can't. Oh my God.
Ma'am, Ms. Washel. No, if you need a moment, we can pass this matter.
I just want to get this taken care of. I'm at work right now.
I know, and I don't want to hold you from work any longer. How long will it take you to have a response from the Employee Emergency Assistance Fund?
I been trying to keep in contact with them. I just called them yesterday and gave them more information. I was going to call them again after court was done. I have no idea. I know I can get $1,000 within the next 2 to 4 days, at least from my retirement fund, because they have to go through the process. And then I'm just trying to get it all figured out.
Mr. Morton.
Your Honor, it's hard to commit to anything if there's no timeline available to be able to discuss. You know, I'm not trying to be insensitive to that, but it's hard to be able to provide something without a timeline available.
If I could at least get to the 28th, I will call whatever numbers to get everything paid up.
If the court, I believe the 28th is the time period, Your Honor, so we wouldn't have any objection, of course, to the 28th.
Ms. Washel, that is the time that would appear on the judgment typically. That would be August the 28th. You've indicated that you have made an application for SER and that you make a request for assistance through your employer. So the judgment will indicate the amount of rent that you've acknowledged as owing, plus the court costs. You've been on long enough this morning to hear me say repeatedly to tenants, be in contact and communication with the office. The court does not typically get involved in the payment plans, and neither does the law firm. It's typically between the office and the tenant. So let them know, be in contact and communication. When you're able to make payments, make payments. That will not, that's the best way to keep the next worst step from happening. I understand life happens and sometimes it happens in abundance, but it's a matter of communication, okay?
Okay.
Any questions this morning, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Washel, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. You're free to go, ma'am.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Carly, did you need something or you're just hanging out? You're muted. I'm sorry.
Somebody just came in. I'm gonna go ahead and rename them and put them in your meeting room.
Thank you, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Mr. Morton, it's a day. This is 233570 LT. This is Holiday Woods versus Shanna Batdorf. Batdorf or anyone at 77 Mulberry in the city of Belleville?
Batdorf. Okay.
This case was scheduled at 9:15. It's now 10:01 by the court's clock. There's no response to Shanna Batdorf, Batdorf, or anyone from 77 Mulberry in the city of Belleville. There was one unidentified person that court staff has just renamed. On behalf of the plaintiff, how are we proceeding this morning?
Here at this time, we'd ask you default judgment for possession be entered. Rents retained are $960.13. Court cost of $164. We're told $1,124.13. According to our records, Ms. Batdorf did not appear at the mediation as well. So we'd ask you default judgment for possession be entered.
Thank you. Defendant having failed to appear for a second time in this matter, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total due of $1,124.13. Plaintiff's office will submit that judgment for entry. There is an occupant at 2335393 LT. Ma'am, with the teal shirt,
Yes.
is this Holiday Woods versus Omar Williams?
Yes.
Where's Mr. Williams?
He's at work. He doesn't have a phone. So, but I do live, I'm his girlfriend. We live together.
Ma'am, I'm going to have you go into the breakout room. One of the attorneys that represents Holiday Woods will take you into a room to discuss the case with you, okay?
Okay. How do I do
Thank you.
that?
You'll see it pop up on your phone here in a moment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Brewer, 333484 LT, Harbor Club versus Johntonette Brewer.
I'm here.
Ma'am, you state your name.
Johntonette Brewer.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. Let's give Mr. Morton a minute to find the
I've
rent
located
that's
it.
claimed. Oh, hold on one second. I'm still trying to, I'm trying to find the file, sir. Give me just a minute.
No problem.
Okay. The rent to retain possession is,
Your Honor, rents retained is $1,350.00. Court cost of $167 for a total of $1,517.00. This is a non-payment of rent for possession only.
Ms. Brewer, were you able to hear Mr. Morton just now?
Yes.
Ma'am, he's alleging that there is $1,350 in rent owing to your landlord for non-payment of rent plus $167 in court costs. Is the amount of rent claimed accurate?
No, I recently paid my rent, the late fee, and the court costs.
What is recently?
This morning.
Okay.
I paid.
You paid to directly to the office?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Did you, if I may ask,
Okay.
Your Honor? If I may just inquire briefly?
Absolutely.
Ms. Brewer, did you pay it directly in person or did you pay it online?
I paid it in person.
Okay.
I gave them 4
money
money
order?
orders with the amount of $1,525.
Okay, if the court would like to pass this matter briefly, Your Honor, I can go ahead and confirm that. I know that she might have paid it literally while we were in court right now, so.
Exactly, which Ms. Brewer, remute yourself. Mr. Morton will check on that. We'll call a few other matters and we'll get back to you in just a moment, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. This is a recall of 233502 LT, Green Metals versus Gist. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Gist. You're
Yes.
talking to Ms. Coolsey, who might be still in the breakout room with someone else, okay?
We came up with a agreement.
And what was that agreement, ma'am?
The pay the past due balance before September the 5th. and make sure I pay the September rent on time.
And ma'am, was that based on the $2,765.53 we discussed before?
Right, well, she said it's like 29 now, 29.
Because there's $164 in court costs for a total of $2,929.53.
Okay,
Is that correct?
yes,
And were you doing this by consent? Were you agreeing that this was what was due?
yes,
Did she ask you to sign a consent judgment or authorize a consent judgment in this matter?
yes,
Did she explain to you that the judgment will not be final and enforceable for 3 days because you're not represented by an attorney?
yes,
Did she explain to you that you have 10 days to appeal any decision of the court?
yes,
And because you appear on Zoom, there's not a signed consent. Did you authorize her office to sign the judgment on your behalf?
yes,
Ms. Giss, I'll take you at your word. I've noted the file. Plaintiff's office will submit a judgment electronically to the court that has those terms on it. I'll sign it and you'll get a copy in the mail. If you receive it and it is not what you've agreed to, it's your obligation to file with the court that that the judgment's not accurate, okay?
okay,
Anything else this morning?
no, that's it,
Can I say something to you? May I say something to you, please, ma'am?
yes,
I want to thank you for your sympathy to the young woman that was struggling this morning.
it's tough out here for everyone, people just need to be a little bit more compassion, but I understand, you have to pay, to stay, but things happen sometimes.
It takes a certain person to be aware and sympathetic and supportive of someone else who's going through it. So just thank you.
Thank you.
You have a good day, ma'am.
You as well.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Judge,
Ma'am.
there's a CG Stevens in here. She was in a breakout room with the attorney. He wasn't aware if she needed anything further to speak to you
She
about.
does, because this was the 9 o'clock case where the attorneys have not come out and advised what the status of the matter is. Mr. Mortada and Ms. Cooper are still in a meeting room.
Okay,
So
perfect.
Stephen should hang around. Thank you.
Absolutely. Do you need me any longer?
I don't think so. I thank you for your help. I know you have other obligations, and our last case was scheduled at 9:45. So I think I should be able to manage it. Thank you, ma'am.
Alrighty, thank you. You take care.
You too. Garrett Staten. Staten. Mr. Staten. Sir, with the beard that just joined us. Oh, Mr. Morton, were you able to get an answer to the question with Ms. Brewer?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. She had put the money in a Dropbox. I spoke to my client who literally went over the Dropbox just about 10 minutes ago, received the funds, confirmed the payment. So we will be submitting a dismissal.
This is a recall of 233484 LT Harbor Club versus Brewer. Ms. Brewer, were you able to hear Mr. Morton just now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Their office will be submitting a dismissal, but ma'am, if for some reason the payment that you put in the box is not able to be successfully negotiated by your landlord, we will be back, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Do you have any questions this morning?
No, Your Honor.
You're free to go, Ms. Brewer. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. This is 233483 LT. This is Harbor Club versus Coleman.
Yes, I'm here.
Ma'am,
Yes.
Ms. Coleman, you've sat here listening for I don't know how long. What am I going to ask you to do this morning?
My name is Kiana Coleman. State my name for the record.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Today is a day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. Mr. Morton, what is your client alleging as rent to retain possession?
Your Honor, at this time, rents retained $2,275.00. Court costs of $167 for a total of $2,442.00. It's a non-payment of rent for possession only, and it does include the month of August.
Ms. Coleman, were you able to hear Mr. Morton just now?
Yes, he said it doesn't include August, but I was told that it did include August.
No, it does.
It does.
Oh, okay.
It does include August, and he's alleging that there's $2,275 in rent. The plaintiff is requesting $167 in court costs for a total judgment of $2,442. Is the amount of rent claimed accurate, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Coleman, inasmuch as you admit and agree that the amount of rent claim due and owing is accurate, there is not a tribal issue of fact, and the plaintiff is entitled to entry of judgment in the amount claimed. Mr. Morton's office will submit a judgment to the court that has that amount and the court costs on it. And it will indicate that you need to pay or vacate the property by August the 28th. Do you
Is
have
it
any
possible-
questions this morning?
I'm sorry. Is it possible just
No,
to
you
get
go ahead.
the end of the month, the 31st, I get paid bi-weekly?
Mr. Morton?
Was it based on the timelines? We can push this to the 30th, Your Honor, to give her a little bit more time.
Okay.
It's a couple of days, Ms. Coleman, but it really will make a difference.
It will. I get paid on Thursday.
It will. I
Thank you.
understand. They can't do anything before that date anyway.
Thank you.
That concludes the matter, Ms. Coleman. You have a wonderful day. You're free to go.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Staton,
Yes.
sir, you are in the wrong courtroom.
I was given the wrong Zoom ID.
I understand. I'm sorry.
Could you maybe direct me to the correct one?
That's what I was starting to do. If you have pencil and paper, I'll give you that correct Zoom ID.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
It is 646
Okay,
876
okay.
9923.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. This is two, 3487 LT. This is Harbor Club versus Rosado and Gray.
Hello,
Hi, Your Honor.
Philip Gray.
Juliana Rosado.
Thank you. Today is a day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. Mr. Morton, what is your client alleging as rent to retain possession?
You're at this time, rents retained are $2,490. Court costs of $189 for a total of $2,679.00.
Were you able to hear Mr. Morton just now indicate that $2,490 in rent is due and owing in this matter?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Rosado, is that a correct amount?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Gray, is that a correct amount?
Yes, it is.
Do you have any defense to this non-payment of rent action?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Do you have any defense to this non-payment of rent action?
No.
Inasmuch as you admit that the amount of rent claim due and owing by the plaintiff is correct, there is not a tribal issue of fact, and the plaintiff is entitled to entry of judgment in the amount of $2,490 for rent, $189 for court costs, and a total judgment of $2,679. Mr. Morton's office will submit a judgment to the court with that amount. The judgment will indicate that you have 10 days to pay or vacate the property. Ms. Rosado, do you have any questions this morning regarding this matter?
No.
Our lease is up September 9th anyway. I talked to the office. Could we get an extension till there? Is that okay? They said we won't be able to re-sign our lease until we get our payments up anyway.
I can advise them that, they do not do lease renewals on parties when there's a past due balance. Because there's, I could get into it, but there's potential legal ramifications about, agreements that everything's not in default and other matters. So they don't sign new leases while there's active litigation and or if there's past due amounts that are due and owing.
Yes, of course.
Does that make sense to you, Mr. Gray and Ms. Rosado?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we will, Mr. Morton, am I understanding you to say the judgment will stay as is with the writ date of August 28th?
Correct, Your Honor.
August 28th.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. That sounds good.
Anything else this morning? Mr. Gray, Ms. Rosado, anything else this morning?
No, that'll be all.
No.
Thank you. That concludes this matter. You're free to go. You have a wonderful day, okay?
Thank you too.
Thank you. This is 233581 LT Holiday Woods versus D'Amico Hargrove.
Hi, D'Amico Hargrove.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. The defendant failed to appear at the first hearing. Mr. Morton, how are we proceeding this morning?
At this time, rents retained are $3,146.68. Court costs of $164 for a total of $3,310.68. This is a non-payment rent for possession only, and this does include the month of August.
Okay.
Were you able to hear Mr. Morton allege that there's $3,146.68 due in past due rent?
Yes.
Is that amount accurate?
Yes.
Do you have any defense to this non-payment of rent action?
No, but I have two jobs that I just started working and I recently got out of an accident, a really bad car accident, but I was trying to, when is the latest I can have that paid?
The statutory time period of the law is the 28th, so that gives you until it's a week from this coming Monday, so that's 2 weekends.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
Anything else?
No, that's all.
Mr. Morton's office will submit a judgment with those terms on it. A copy will be mailed to you at the address we have on file. If there's nothing else, you're free to go. You have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mortada, we're just waiting for Ms. Cooper and her client. So if you sit tight, I will circle back to you. Mr. Morton, 233571 LT Holiday Woods versus Marco Bingham II. This matter was scheduled for a second hearing at 9:15. Defendant failed to appear for the first hearing, has failed to appear for this hearing. Is there anyone here from 291 Mulberry?
Your Honor, before you
Defendant-
continue, I would just advise the court that for Marco Bingham, we had submitted a dismissal on this one, so this case it was not proceeding.
Give me 1 second. There's a little bit of a delay in getting the dismissals, and if they emailed me this morning, I've been out here since 9 o'clock, so we will follow up on that. Mr. Morton, you'll have to tell me how your life is with my file.
More exciting
This
than it
is
should
two-
be.
It's taking some getting used to, but this is 233572 LT. This is Holiday Woods versus, nope, Christian Burns. There is a dismissal pending. 233573 LT Holiday Woods versus Brian Craig. There's a dismissal pending. 233577 LT Holiday Woods versus Stephen Curley.
Your Honor, based on Mr. Curley's failure to appear, we are asking a default judgment for possession be entered. Rents retained are $4,366.68. Court costs of $164 for a total of $4,530.68. This is a non-payment of rent for possession only.
Thank you. Stephen Curley or anyone at 161 Birch, Site 161 in the city of Belleville. Case having been scheduled at 9:30, it now being 10:22 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant in the total amount of $4,530.68. Plaintiff's office to submit that judgment by my file for entry. This is 233579 LT. This is Holiday Woods versus Caitlin Freeman. This case was scheduled at 9:30. It is now 10:22 by the court's clock. Defendant has failed to appear for a second time in this matter. Is there anyone here from 22 Birch? Defendant having failed to appear for a second time. Mr. Morton, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, based on the defendant's failure to appear, we're asking for a default judgment for possession to be entered. Rents retained are $1,574.23. Court costs of $164 for a total of $1,738.23.
Thank you, sir. Defendant having failed to appear is directed by this court for a second time. Default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total judgment of $1,738.23. This is 233399 LT. This is Mosful versus Stevens. May I have your appearances, please?
Attorney Adam Mortada, P number P83833 on behalf of the plaintiff, Your Honor.
Catherine Cooper with Lakeshore Legal Aid on behalf of the defendant, P85148. Good morning, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Cooper. Today is a day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. I note the attendance of Ms. Stevens. Mr. Mortada, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, Ms. Cooper and I came to an agreement for a conditional dismissal. That's going to have an upfront payment, a payment for the rest of the back owed rent over the next 7 months, and then my client has to clean the mold in the crawl space.
Who's drafting the conditional dismissal?
I will be, Your Honor.
Mr. Murtada was kind enough to volunteer.
I'll make a notation in the file that the plaintiff's office will be submitting a conditional dismissal that has a 7-month payment term with the indication that the plaintiff is to clean mold from the crawl space. Mr. Mortada, if we haven't received that in the next 2 or 3 weeks, you'll probably get a reminder from the civil department that an activity could result in dismissal.
I'll get that to
Anything
you by
else?
the end of the week, Your Honor.
Oh, I'd be much appreciated. Anything else on behalf of the plaintiff?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Cooper?
No, Your Honor. Thank you so much. And thank you, Mr. Murtada, and thank you, Ms. Stevens.
Thank you, Ms. Cooper. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Ms. Stevens, you too. Ms. Stevens, you're free to go. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You as well, Your Honor.
Oh. 233583 LT Holiday Woods versus Jesus Howard. May I have your appearance, please?
Your Honor, for the record, Attorney Ian Morton of Palace Law on behalf of the plaintiff.
Jesus Howard or anyone at 14 Birch. This case was scheduled for a second hearing at 9:30. It's now 10:25 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Mr. Morton, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, at this time, we'd ask a default judgment for possession be entered. Rents retained are $1,364.62. Court costs of $164 for a total of $1,528.62.
Thank you. Jesus Howard having failed to appear as directed by this court, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total due of $1,528.62. Plaintiff's office to submit that by my file for entry. The tenant for the Williams matter, the occupant for the Williams matter, were you expecting them to come out of the breakout?
Yes, I will get them out.
Thank you. This is 233587LT Holiday Woods versus Alex Ritter.
Your Honor, for the record.
Alex Ritter, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say Attorney Ian Morton on behalf of Holiday Woods, Your Honor.
Thank you. Alex Ritter or anyone at 49 Birch in the city of Belleville. Today is the day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. It was scheduled at 9:30. It is now 10:27 by the court's clock. This is the defendant's second failure to appear in this matter. Mr. Morton, how are we proceeding?
Here at this time, we'd ask a default judgment for possession to be entered. Rents retained are $1,311.27. Court costs of $164 for a total of $1,475.27. This is a non-payment of rent for possession only.
Thank you. Defendant having failed to appear as directed by this court, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total due of $1,475.27. Plaintiff's office to submit that judgment for entry. This is a recall of 233593LT Holiday Woods versus Omar Williams.
Thank you, Chrissy, on behalf of plaintiff.
Ma'am, unmute yourself and state your name for the record, please.
Kevin Taylor.
I'm sorry?
Kevin Taylor.
I'm not catching your first name. Last name Taylor, first name is?
Kevin Taylor.
Kevin, thank you. Yeah. Ma'am, you've had the opportunity to speak with Ms. Taylor in this matter. How are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor. As of today, we'll be seeking a default possession judgment as to Omar Williams for failing to appear. I did speak to Ms. Haven Taylor and she has not consented to being added to this judgment. So I would be seeking a default possession judgment. Rent to retain $1,675.74. Cost of $164 for a total balance of $1,839.74 to be paid on or before August 28, 2023.
Thank you. Ms. Taylor, the way that the plaintiff filed this case, there was a demand for possession addressed solely to Omar Williams. The case was filed as to Omar Williams and all other occupants. Ms. Colsey has indicated that you do not consent to being added to this matter. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Inasmuch as the named defendant in this matter, Omar Williams, has failed to appear, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total due of $1,839.74. Plaintiff's office to submit that judgment for entry. Ms. Taylor, you're free to go. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. This is 233588LT Holiday Woods versus Carlos Sains or anyone at 1 Arbor Lane in the city of Belleville. This case was scheduled for a second hearing at 9:30. There's no one else here. Defendant having failed to appear in this matter, Mr. Morton, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, we'd ask a default judgment for possession to be entered. Rents retained are $1,564.10. Court costs of $164 for a total of $1,728.10.
Thank you. The defendant having failed to appear as directed by this court, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total judgment of $1,728.10. Plaintiff's office to submit that judgment for entry. This is 233591LT Holiday Woods versus Aaron Ware. Aaron Ware, anyone at 14030 Rome Court, apartment number 8. This matter was scheduled for a second hearing this morning at 9:30. It's now 10:30 by the court's clock. This is the defendant's second failure to appear in this matter. Mr. Morton, based on the defendant's failure to appear, how would you like to proceed?
Here at this time, we'd ask a default judgment for possession to be entered. Rents retained are $1,533.33, court costs of $164, for a total of $1,697.33. Again, this is a non-payment of rent for possession only.
Thank you. Aaron Ware, having failed to appear as directed by this court for a second time, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total judgment of $1,697.33. Plaintiff's office to submit that judgment for entry. This is 2-3-3-4-6-4 LT GI&I Harbor Club versus Wallington. The court has received indication that this matter is dismissed. This is 2-3-3-4-6-7 LT. This is Harbor Club versus Matthews Swoboda. Matthews Swoboda or anyone at 11570 Buckley Road, apartment number 103 in the city of Belleville. Today is the day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. It was scheduled at 9:45. It's now 10:31 by this court's clock. This is defendant's second failure to appear in this matter. Mr. Morton, how are we proceeding?
Here at this time, we'd ask a default judgment for possession be entered. Rents retained is $3,873.00. Court costs of $167, for a total of $4,040.00.
Thank you. Mr. Swoboda, having failed to appear as directed by this court for a second time, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total judgment amount of $4,040. Plaintiff's office to submit that judgment for entry. This is 2-3-3-4-7-0 LT Harbor Club versus Brandy Perry or anyone at 48731 Denton Road, number 5. The second hearing in this matter was scheduled at 9:45 this morning. Is now 10:32 by the court's clock. This is the defendant's second failure to appear in this matter. Mr. Morton, based on the defendant's failure to appear, how would you like to proceed?
You're at this time, we'd ask a default judgment for possession be entered. Rents retained is $4,242.00. Court costs of $167. Court for a total of $4,409.00.
Thank you. Ms. Perry, having failed to appear as directed by this court for a second time, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total judgment of $4,409. Plaintiff's office to submit that judgment for entry. This is 2-3-3-4-7-9 LT. This is Harbor Club versus Patrick Kendrick or anyone at 48791 South I-94 Service Drive, number 308. The second hearing in this matter was scheduled at 9:45 this morning. Is now 10:33 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear for a second time in this matter. Mr. Morton, how would you like to proceed?
Here at this time, we'd ask a default judgment for possession be entered. Rents retained is $1,375.00. Court costs of $167, for a total of $1,542.00. This is a non-payment of rent for possession only.
Thank you. Mr. Kendrick, having failed to appear as directed by this court again in this matter, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total judgment of $1,542. Plaintiff's office to submit that judgment for entry. This is 2-3-3-4-8-1 LT. This is Harbor Club versus Nichelle Henderson. This matter was scheduled for second hearing at 9:45. It's now 10:34 a.m. by this court's clock. Henderson or anyone at 48981 Denton Road, apartment number 207. Mr. Morton, defendant having failed to appear as directed by this court, how would you like to proceed?
Here at this time, we'd ask a default judgment for possession be entered. Rents retained is $5,476.00. Court costs of $167, for a total of $5,643.00.
Defendant having failed to appear as directed by this court, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total judgment of $5,643. Plaintiff's office to submit that judgment for entry. This is 2-3-3-5-9-4 LT Holiday Woods versus Joshua Weinkauf. Today is the day and time set for the second hearing in this matter. Case was scheduled at 9:45. It's now 10:35 a.m. by this court's clock. Mr. Weinkauf having failed to appear. Mr. Morton, how would you like to proceed?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, could you Give me that last name one more time.
Winekoff, Winekoff. Holiday Woods,
Oh.
233594.
That is where my confusion is. At this time, Your Honor, we'd ask a default judgment for possession be entered, and for the record, it's Attorney Ian Morton on behalf of Holiday Woods. Rents retained is $5,335.65. Court costs of $164, for a total of $5,499.65, Your Honor.
Thank you. Defendant having failed to appear as directed by this court, judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with a total judgment amount $5,499.65. Plaintiff's office to submit that judgment for entry. Mr. Morton, I will see you back here at 1:15.
That is correct, Your Honor. I just wanted to confirm that I wasn't sure how the court would like us to file documents with the e-file system in place. So we actually e-filed the exhibits and I sent them over via email as well. What does the court prefer in your specific circumstance?
I have no preference. I think the thing with my file is that it takes a couple of days to get added to the file and sent up to me. So if you submit it by my file at least 2 days before the hearing, preferably 3 days, that should give it Sandy sufficient time to get it marked and up here. If you want to continue to send it by email, that's belts and suspenders. I have no preference.
Understood,
Whatever is
Your Honor.
easier for the parties.
I appreciate that clarification. Thank you.
Anything else this morning?
Nothing else, Your Honor. Thank you. Yeah, I'll see you.
See you in a couple hours. Take care.